Welcome to Wednesday's Words of Wisdom from the farm. We're getting close to our wheat harvest. You know, I'll never forget this story my dad told me. And right now you can see crows everywhere. I'll never forget the crow call that my dad used to give. If you could see some crows in the back bush, my dad would stand out in the backyard and start into this crow call. And these crows would get into a fight. This call would stir the crows up into a fight. And I'm going to attempt the crow call. I'm really bad at it, but I'll attempt it. It's really bad. But you know what? My dad was great at it. He could imitate a crow. And I'll never forget, my dad's friend, she had her son come over and he was at the farm and doing whatever. And my dad called on a crow fight. And this young man was fascinated with it, this young boy. And he went back home to Sarnia and he decided to try it out at his kitchen table. This story is going to sound a little far-fetched, but I have people that will back it. His mother opened the window and was doing the dishes at the kitchen sink. She had a little dish and she put her wedding ring in, and he started into the crow call. And you wouldn't believe it, but a crow landed on the windowsill and reached in with his beak and grabbed that wedding ring and took off. She was fuming. She was irate. She called and gave it to my dad. Her wedding ring was gone. You know, it was like a year later, they found that wedding ring under the tree in their backyard. They figured the crow had landed there and dropped the ring. They saw a little glitter, a little glimmer, and they looked and there was her wedding ring. Every time she ran into my dad, she reminded him and ribbed him for that story, for teaching her son to call crows. Imitating something that we shouldn't be. You know what? We as people, we imitate things that we shouldn't be. I watched the state fair. There was a state fair in the States, and they had this pig calling contest, and it was ridiculous on YouTube. It was ridiculous. I'm going to attempt my version of the pig call to show you how ridiculous it is. But I want to just for a minute say what Paul says in Ephesians 5. This is what Paul says. He says in Ephesians 5 verse 1, "Therefore be imitators of God as beloved children, and walk in love as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us." Be imitators of God. Well, here I am. I'm going to attempt to be something that I'm not. And you know what? Don't be something that you're not. Be who God's called you to be. Here's my version of the pig call. There you go. And this has been this edition. I've lost my voice. This has been this edition of Wednesday's Words of Wisdom from the farm. Take care. God bless.